how do food intolerances start with things like IBS, Crohn's, Colitis, SIBO, Candida? I used to suffer from these things, and I eat whatever I want. So we have to keep in mind that this is a subconscious process, and we're looking at this from a GNM perspective, a German New Medicine perspective, which states that every disease, air quotes, starts after a traumatic event that puts an organ into overdrive, and that is highly oversimplified. So let's say the traumatic event that put my gut into overdrive was a girlfriend breaking up with me. And the way that this shocking moment, it's just a conflict. It's me fighting with my girlfriend. No. What was the conflict shocking moment? It was when I was on Facebook and I saw her in a picture of another guy and those two clinking cappuccino cups. And after that time, I usually drank coffee, and coffee was fine. But every once in a while I would get a cappuccino. And oh my God, when I had a cappuccino, I would have to run to the bathroom. Now, just because something like that happens doesn't mean every single time somebody has a conflict shock and the exact same thing happens, they're going to be allergic to cappuccinos. I could have been allergic to all coffee. It could have made me allergic to all dairy. Who knows what this thing is doing up here? Who knows? We don't know. Maybe when, Elon Musk gets the Tesla chip thing in your head, we can get a readout of what the subconscious mind's doing. But until then, all we can do is work backwards from our symptoms. So, let's say you eat cheese. And every time you eat cheese, it's just not good. You get pain or diarrhea or whatever. So then what you need to ask yourself is, okay, how was cheese at the scene of the crime? What this person's saying up here is, I had to, my boyfriend, he splashed wine in my face or something. Why am I not allergic to wine? And I'm allergic to, something I didn't have trauma with or something like that. I would have to ask the person. Truth is always stranger than fiction. But for a lot of people with especially colitis, because they go through the traumatic event of one day having to run to the toilet and having excruciating pain and seeing blood in the toilet for the first time, that does a number. That does a number on the brain. And so when that happens, they're like, oh my God, I just ate this, I just ate that. I see that happen a lot. And then they go online and then, they read that. Like, I could eat bread and I was fine for the longest time. And then I read the specific carbohydrate diet book and GAPS diet book and autoimmune paleo book. And I was like deathly allergic to any starch after that. Just reading a stupid book. So again, we don't know how our subconscious is going to register certain foods as good or bad and what organ it's going to be, might make somebody break out in a rash, might give somebody diarrhea, might cause somebody gut pain. We don't know how the subconscious is going to wire something until we get the symptom. And then even some of the best people, who know GNM, including myself, it's trial and error. You have one guy, he was reacting to pizza. He was like, okay, well, is it the gluten? He goes, no, I have bread and everything's fine. Is it the tomato sauce? No, I have tomato sauce. I have pasta and everything's fine. Pizza? Diarrhea. What is going on with that? And then he remembered from like years ago, he goes, oh yeah, I got in a fight with a friend over a pizza. I won't explain the stories. But once he made that realization, he could have pizza no problem. Once you see that connection to the conflict shock, it usually breaks it. It just depends. A lot of the times, 90% of your food intolerances will go away when you just stop believing the holistic nonsense and you start to understand the German New Medicine way of looking at things. And then, depending on the 5% of the other food intolerances that you're going to have are probably linked to the conflict. So I hope that helps. I explain it in much more detail inside my webinar, and So go sign up for that. I also have a bunch of awesome discounts and products on my email list that I don't share anywhere else.